I ask for the truth on behalf of Christine Jones concerning finance issues, and I ask for guidance and insight in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the truth always. And we just cut the deck for you there. Let's place the top on the bottom. Let's place the cards to the side here. Then we're going to deal out 3 of them. The spread that we're using is past, present and future. In this particular case, the recent past influence, the present influence and the immediate future influence. The recent past and immediate future correction, pardon me, are about between now and this time last month to between now and this time next month. So you're sort of like 3 days behind, 3 days ahead, that sort of period here. What's going on at present. Let's just settle down here and pull out the first card here. This will of course give some insight into what was going on financially for you over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so. Remember, of course, we can't really give you finance advice other than give all your money to me, which I know you're not going to do, but you could give it to charity, couldn't you? Not all of it, but you could make a, if you wish to pay for a reading, although it's a free reading and you feel guilty about having it free, then make a donation to charity by all means. And that's for anybody else who may be watching this at the moment, feeling guilty that they're getting it free for some reason, then make a worthy donation to a worthy charity, and that will clear your conscience, hopefully. But let's just see what's been going on over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so, as we just flip the card nice and slowly here, just indicating really from a financial point of view. Remember, this isn't really advice, but there's maybe giving insight in the sense that Spirit has been watching over you, unseen forces have been watching over you just lately. I suppose that's a guardian angel, isn't it? The Spirit there has been watching over you. Of course, any sort of financial upheaval, you won't die. It's very rare, unless you're living in Britain where the government is trying to kill off the vulnerable. But unless you're not vulnerable, you're okay, aren't you? The situation, of course, you are protected, although there's a lot of, I suppose, decoration there in the card, isn't it? Pretty decorative. Well, as you can see through there to darkness in the background there, isn't there? But nevertheless, the skull lights up. Although the skull, of course, bones usually represent healing, don't they? But although the skull may be the remnants of what was left from the host, as you would say, nevertheless, the Spirit holds the skull and maybe looks into the face of maybe you, knowing that. Of course, an angel, notice there the wings symbolise the movement of messages, because the angel is a messenger. The word angel means messenger. And although this isn't really a messagey sort of type energy, nevertheless I do sort of sense as though there has been a message of some kind. You have received a message from an angel in some way, shape or form, either through signs and omens, or maybe just through what people have said to you, and you've sort of like got what's going on or whatever. But nevertheless, you've been protected throughout it. Maybe because, of course, if you're in the right, as magic dictates, real magic that is, with the K, M-A-G-I-C-K, and you may have been performing rituals or whatever to protect yourself, then of course if you're in the right, you will be protected. But nevertheless, that's neither here nor there. From a financial standpoint, you've been protected. Although you can be as poor as a church mouse that's just been evicted from the belfry without any cheese and fallen off the balcony into a bowl of cat food, you can nevertheless be protected throughout it. Because remember, it's preparing you for better things to come, isn't it? And let's just see though what's going on right now at present. Notice here we've got an elemental energy there, the element of earth. Obviously grounded in some way. Earth, of course, can be related to money as well, can't it? In that sense, we've got Capricorn, the energy of Capricorn. Why I'm locking onto that, I don't know. But certainly. Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus there. Notice that you can just see that there. Those energies, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, are very much prominent. I don't know if you're one of them or if those energies are just there. They're the earth signs there. Maybe somebody of an earth sign is trying to protect you as well. Notice, of course, it goes with protection. Protection is usually an earthly thing, isn't it? Because the animal spirits, the four-legged ones, are the ones that walk the earth, and they are the ones that protect. So maybe there is a four-legged spirit as your totem, maybe. But this really focuses right now on being logical, on being grounded, mainly pragmatism, and really just using logic, reason and common sense, as it says there, to just deal with the problem. Being level-headed. One thing to believe in Santa Claus or God or whatever it is you want to believe in, even this sort of thing, believing in this. But nevertheless, at the end of the day, realistically, real magic works with reality, and reality is realistic by its very design. And realistically, one has to be pragmatic. One has to say, well, you know, if I can't afford it, I don't spend it, or you know, I'm not going to get rich by spending my money. Spend more than what's coming in, and that's it. I'm going to end up nowhere. Maybe by pure bad luck, of course. You're incapable of doing that, I don't know. But by using a bit of logic, a bit of reason, a bit of common sense, you can budget, no doubt, and that would help. And then you'll have more to give to me, won't you, later on, when I call you and say, give me all the money, or I'll put a curse on you and give me $1,000 to release it. But then again, if you've fallen for that sort of thing, that's a scam, isn't it? There's plenty of that going on. And we try and stop that sort of thing in this group, in this 100% free psychic readings group, says at the minute. We try and stop that. Although what you do in private, of course, with somebody in a private message has nothing to do with anybody, but certainly on the group page. And as we're doing here on the group page, this is free at the point of delivery, and I've got no problem with that. Of course, the only reason you say, well, why is divination free when there should be an exchange for divination? It's healing that you do free, that it should be done with pure unconditional love. But of course, I always say if divination is part of the healing process, how can you charge for that? That's flying in the face of nincompoopeness, whatever you want to call it, isn't it? So flying in the face of reason, as you usually say. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe things haven't appeared reasonable just recently, but nevertheless you've been protected from that which is unreasonable. Let's though see what happens in the immediate future between now and maybe this time next month, when the moon is in the position that it's in right now, the next last quarter, as you could call it, the next banishing phase, as you could say, the moon itself there. As we reveal that slowly, look at that. Yes, the moon can symbolise not retrospection, introspection, correction, maybe retrospection as well, but not really. Introspection. Searching within yourself, yes, of course, it can symbolise deception in the sense that moonlight doesn't exist, but it's reflected sunlight, so reflecting upon one's things, one's situation. But of course, nevertheless, here, of course, guidance through the darkness is more what is going on here, because this dark period that you're experiencing will last just for about longer, until the last quarter, I'm afraid. And from a financial point of view, that will give you the time to regroup maybe and work our way through this. But there will be guidance through this, financial guidance maybe coming to you, maybe just through common sense and reason, just realising what you can have and what you can't have. If you can't afford because all your friends have got it, doesn't mean you should have it. It's just that they'll be without when you are with, when you can turn around and say, well, that's up to you if you want to partake in revelry and indulgence. You want to indulge in that sort of thing, but nevertheless, from a financial point of view, of course, give all your money to me. Laughing and joking apart, though, the darkness, the period of darkness will come to an end, I'm sure, but just for now, you need to seek financial guidance from a professional, because we're not professional here. The only professional advice I can give is give all your money to me, for as much use as it did do me. But that's neither here nor there. Of course, the only financial advice that I do give seriously, though, is what you've got, and don't tell anybody you've got it. It's nobody's business unless they ask. That's my sort of philosophy on it. But that's my opinion, of course, and what you do is your business, and what you've got buried in the walls is up to you. But that's neither here nor there neither. But laughing and joking apart there, yes, burying money actually is one of the better options, because apparently when they used to come do raping and pillaging and stealing all the stuff and food, these tribes and even in the medieval times, of course, over here where we are, burying all the food, not just the money, but all the food and the valuables, meant that when the rape and pillaging had gone and they'd burnt that village down, they could at least have something to eat and a bit of something to regroup themselves with. So that's called a contingency plan, isn't it? Usually 5% of your income you could put aside and maybe use that as, you never touch it, it's just there, never touch it, add to it but never take from it. Although it's tempting, isn't it? And that's another, maybe another thing that you could probably do. But of course, that's all based upon if you're grounded enough right now, enough to say, what can I put away, what can't I put away. But at least if you've got something, you know, as long as you don't touch it, never touch it, it's always there for if you need it. But hopefully if you need it, by the time you need it, you can withdraw something else from the cash point, or you can try and get it from some other means, or try and go without instead. But it's that sort of thing, isn't it? We don't provide financial advice here, of course. We can only give an opinion. But nevertheless, from a financial standpoint, the energies that are vibrating here are, yes, you've been protected, no, you won't die, be pragmatic, be reasonable, be grounded, literally. That's because that's where money comes from, the earth. So be grounded and focus on the earth, on the Virgo, on the Taurus. Because with Taurus, it's a bit like a raging bull, isn't it? In the sense that if they don't get what they want, the Taurus can be literally like a raging bull if he doesn't get what he wants. And that's sort of like bull in a china shop sort of thing. But nevertheless, with the Capricorn, the hard work behind that and the commitment there, no doubt you can get through this with a lot of hard work. But knowledge is power, and seeking guidance through the darkness that is to come, which is to come, you know it is, and you know for at least between now and the next moon, sort of last quarter moon that we can use to banish all this. Between now and then, you can maybe initiate something on the next new moon, which, of course, I've Oh, I just posted something actually. Somebody was asking about the moon phases just earlier on. The next new moon is on the 4th of May, so that's not too long to go. Then you can initiate some magic up to the first quarter, the healing energy of the first quarter moon on the 12th of May, and then the peak of magic on the 18th of May, which leads to the next banishing period on the 26th of May. So between now and the 26th of May, you can work something out to just try and get things back on track again. And remember the contingency plan. Everybody can have a contingency fund. However little that is, you put it away, you just never touch it, and it's as simple as that. Although you've probably already done that, that's common sense, and that we're probably mocking your intelligence. So with that, I've picked on you enough. We've beaten you up enough. For now, I think, just for now though, just to contend with, we'll cast a shadow over this. And for now, for you there, Christine, these cards have spoken.